Hello there and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to create your first WordPress application. But before we start, there are some things that you need to take note of. First, what do we require for us to be able to create a WordPress website? First is for us to have a web server installed on our computer. Like in this case, I'm going to use XAMPP. XAMPP comes with a web server called Apache, and it also comes with MySQL. Once we have our web server installed, the second thing we need to do is for us to download WordPress. So, to download WordPress, we'll go to our web browser. Then just write WordPress download. So we click on the first link to download our WordPress. Scroll down up to here. So as you can see, the latest version of WordPress that you are going to use is WordPress 5.7.2. So click to download. So as it downloads, I want us to go to the XAMPP control panel. I'm assuming you have XAMPP installed on your computer. So let us open it up. So ensure you start Apache and MySQL. Okay, now Apache and MySQL are running. In case you have issues starting Apache, please refer to my previous video on Apache stopped unexpectedly error. In that video, you'll be able to see how you can go about this problem in case it occurs. But in this case, we are okay. So we can start our website. So for you to create a MySQL database, just click on admin. If it tells you not found, we can go back to check the port. As you can see, Apache is running on port 90. So we will add the port to the local host. So just add the port, put colon, then port, then run. So there we are. Our PHP myadmin, which is the environment we are going to use to create our database, has now opened. So to create a database, create on new, give it a name. So just call it my first website. Then create. Please note that for you to create a website using WordPress, you do not require to create any table. The only thing you require is a database. So we have our database here. Please note the name, because while connecting to WordPress, we will require this name. Now WordPress has finished downloading. So let us go to the folder where it is downloaded. Then extract, because it is a RAR file. So we are going to extract all the files. So our WordPress is here. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to open WordPress. Then, as you can see within the folder, we also have WordPress. So we are going to copy this, copy that. Then after installing XAMPP, by default it will be installed in local disk C, or in any other location depending on the route or path you selected. So we are going to open XAMPP. Then for any PHP application, it runs in htdocs, or it has to be placed in htdocs for it to be able to run. So open htdocs, then paste that folder within it. Okay, so the copying is done. The next thing we are going to do is to rename. Renaming is your choice. You can choose to leave it as WordPress. That means this will be the website URL, but you can still rename it to your preferred name. Say in this case we can rename it to test website. Name it to test website. Then the next thing we are going to do is to now launch our website in the web browser. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to write localhost, then remember our port number 90, then the website URL, test website, so as you can see, this takes us to the website, to the WordPress setup configuration. So if you can just read through what is written here, you are told that you will need to know the following items: the database name, database username, database password, then the database host. So just click on let's go to continue. So our database name, if you can check back here, is my first website. So fill there my first website. Then username by default is root, unless if it is changed, but in this case it is root. We didn't create any password for our database, so we leave it blank. Then database host is localhost. Then table prefix is WP or WordPress, then underscore. So we leave these as they are, then submit. Once we submit, as you can see, we are ready to go. So the next thing is for us to run the installation. So we can give our site a title, say my my first website. Then we create a username. This username is specifically for logging into WordPress and not the database. So let us say the username is admin. Then password, we also give it admin. Then here, as you can see, we are told our password is very weak. So just confirm use of weak password. But in future, when you are working on a serious application, you'll be required to create a very strong password, because if you use a weak password, like for example, admin is a very common password for most sites and devices. So you are highly encouraged not to use this kind of passwords. But in this case, because it's just for learning purposes, we can use admin. So just check confirm use of weak password. Then you are supposed to have an email address. So let us just call it testweb@gmail.com. But when you are working on a serious website, again, ensure you create an email that exists, or use an email that exists that you can be able to access. And then the next thing is for us to install WordPress. We install our WordPress. Okay, there we are. We can now log into our WordPress with the username and password that we use. So our username was admin, password admin. So we can log in. As you can see, we are now on the dashboard. So let us see how this website looks as it is now. So we can visit our site, open link in new tab, then we can see how our website looks. So basically that's how our website will look like, but I don't think this is enough. I don't think it is appealing to the user or to the eye. So for us to make it more appealing, for us to make it more beautiful, we are required to have what we call themes. We are supposed to use plugins for us to be able to use various features or access various features within our website. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a theme, or to upload a theme in our website. But before we upload, first, if we go to appearance, as you can see, we have themes, we have customize, we have widgets, we have menus, we have background, we have theme editor. So by default, WordPress comes with a number of themes installed, but they may not give you all the features that you need. So in case you are not satisfied with the features that are provided within your version of WordPress, then you may be required to install or to add another theme, either free or commercial. So let us just check the themes that are here. For example, this is the active theme. It is called 2021. We have another theme here called 2019. Let us activate it and see how it looks like. Now it is active. Let us refresh our website and see how it looks like. As you can see, the layout and this general display has changed. Let us check the second theme. This is 2021. This is 2021. Let us activate. Okay, 2021 is now active. Is it active? Now this is 2020. Let us activate 2020 and see how it appears. So let us refresh again. That's how it looks. So each theme comes with its own layout and features. But I don't think this theme is satisfactory enough. Looking at it, it may not give you all the features. Yes, it may create for you a website, or it can help you to create a website, but it may not give you all the features that you need in a website. So most websites are created with the themes that are either free from other sites or they are commercial. So for us to add a theme, like in this case, I have a theme called Avada. I have a theme called Avada. So let us see where it is. Let us search here, Avada. Is it searching? Avada. Do I have it? Yes, it is here. Avada is here. So we have, let us check its location. It's within downloads. So we have Avada here as a folder. Then we have the zipped version of it. So sometimes your website may accept the one that is zipped or the one that is not zipped. But in case you are required to use the zipped one, you can either zip it if it's not zipped, or you can unzip if it's already zipped and your website requires our theme that is already zipped. So let us go back to our application. Now that we know we have our theme here, which is Avada, we want to load this theme within our application. So just click on Add New Theme. Then go to Upload Theme here. Choose, as you can see here before we continue, you are told you are supposed to have a zip format of your theme. So just click on Choose File. Then we go to Downloads. Then still we can search our theme. It is Avada or Avada. It is here. So just click, then open, then install. So we are getting this error. The uploaded file exists, the max file directive in PHP ini.ini. So whenever we get this error, that means we have to go to PHP ini.ini and increase the maximum file size. So we go back to our XAMPP control panel, then go to config php.ini, then find. So paste this upload max file size. We want to look for this and increase this size, say to 10 MB, for us to be able to load our theme. So this 10 megabytes can allow us to install a bigger file of our theme than the 2 megabytes that was initially configured. So let us save, then go back to our website, just refresh. So you can go back, upload theme. It is still loaded, so just install. It's still giving us the same error. Let us see what size it is. It is 5 0.86 MB. Let us stop our Apache server and start it again. Then go back. Let us refresh this. Then re-upload the theme. Search Avada. So there we have. Install. It's now installing. So our theme has been successfully installed. So let us go back to themes and see if we have our theme added. So as you can see, it is here. We can preview and see how it appears before we activate it. Still loading. So this is how it will appear. But the beauty with this one is that it allows us to customize it in our own way. So we can use the same theme and create websites with different appearances and layouts. So let us activate and publish it. Let us activate and publish it. Okay, it's now published. Let us refresh here and see if it has been updated. As you can see, it is now the active theme. So the next thing after loading our theme is for us to add a plugin called Fusion Builder. Fusion Builder is going to assist us to be able to create layouts, to be able to place elements on our website. Elements such as frames, elements such as text, images, and so on. So let us go to plugins. Let us go to plugins. Then these are the plugins that are available as at now, but we can still add new plugins. We can still add new plugins. So we upload, we choose a file. Still in downloads, we have a plugin called Fusion Builder. In this case, we have a plugin called Fusion Builder. So it is here. So let us load it. Install. Plugin failed. Let us try another one. Add new. Fusion Builder. Searching Fusion Builder. Let us try this one. So it is now successfully installed. We can activate. So let us go back to appearance and do a number of things. First, we are going to customize our website. We are going to customize our website. So this one allows us to make a number of changes to our website, such as changing the site title. You can add a tagline here, say first, or we can use a motto or a mantra of your organization or your company. So just say first website. Then we are going to do is to add a header image. To add a header image. So we are going to browse our files. I don't know if I have any image here. Let me see. Let us just say we want this to be our header image. So just upload. Then select and crop. You can skip cropping in case you get errors. Then the next thing we are going to do, we can also select a background image if we wish. So that is optional. Menus, we can leave them. I'll show you how to create menus later. Widgets, we can create widgets at the footer or at the sides. So for example, at the footer, we can add a widget for say social links. So we can add a widget for social links. Then under target, if we indicate blank, then it means whatever link we put there will open in a new tab. But if we don't put blank, it means it will open in the same tab as the website. So we can put links. We can put links for our various social media sites. Say we want to connect to our Google link page. So we can just put sample link, www.google.com/mypage, for example. Instagram, say https www.instagram.com/mypage. If we have a LinkedIn account, can also add www.linkedin.com/mypage, for example. So ensure you put the correct links based on your website. Say Skype, https www.skype.com/myskype, say. So as you can see, the moment we add a link here, an icon is added, and behind that icon there will be a link that directs one to the specific social media site. So we can publish this. Done. So we have social media links added to our footer as a widget. We can still add another widget. Say contact info. So you can put some contact information on your website. Say the address is PO Box, say 1. So ensure you put the correct address. Say the phone number is 07. Like that. Mobile number is the same. Fax, say there's no fax. So email is testweb@gmail.com. So if you have a website, you can add. If you have you can add a website if you have one or the organization has one. The text that is supposed to be displayed, say just email, under email, then website. If you have any, you put a URL here, then the text here. Let us see. As you can see, it is here. So or you can just say email us on here, and as you can see, it will be, or send us an email. Just say email us. Then if you have a website, you indicate plus the text that will show. Once done, indicate done. So we can publish this. We can still add as many widgets as possible. We can add calendar. Say calendar. Then save. Before going there, let us publish. Let us refresh and see if there are any changes. Yeah, so as you can see, all the changes that we've added are reflecting here. So let us continue the editing. We've done our footer widgets. Let us see widget 2. We can add as many widgets as possible. So all these were under widget 1, but as you can see, it is arranging them vertically. So if we want to avoid this, we can decide to put one item per widget, or we can still put more than one, but ensure that the items are distributed uniformly horizontally. So under widget 2, we can now decide to put contact us. Under widget 2, contact info. So let us just say contact us. Then we give it an address, PO Box 1 test. Phone number is 0700 000000. Use the same phone number here. Don't have fax, so let's email is testweb@gmail.com. Say email us as the text that will appear. So as you can see, it is adding them here. If you have a website, you add, publish that. Then we can go back to widget 1 and remove contact info. So we just remove contact info from widget 1. We can also remove calendar from widget 1. Then now we have social section as under widget 1. We have conductors under widget 2. Then we can now add calendar. We can now add our calendar under widget 3. Just say my calendar, say, or another title that you will prefer. So add, then publish. But still, as you can see, it's not balanced, so we can add another widget 4. But it's not a must that you have all these widgets. Only add widgets depending on your needs, and not just the desire to fill the entire horizontal layout. So here you can connect to a Twitter account and show feeds, but in this case we can leave it empty. But in future you can add a Twitter account here, and so that you can be able to get live feeds. So let us cancel this, allow it to cancel. So we are back. So let us leave the rest of the settings as they are. We will continue changing them as we proceed with our website. So we can save the changes. And save the changes. The next thing, or the next item, is responsive. Responsive means the ability of a website or web application to fit on any screen of any size. For example, you can open a website on a laptop, a desktop. You can also open it on a tablet or a phone. So the website, for a website to be known or to be said to be responsive, then it should fit on each of those items without hiding any elements. So as you can see here, it is responsive. Responsive design has been activated. If you don't want any responsive design, you turn it off. But in the modern era, responsive design is highly encouraged because most people are accessing systems using mobile phones. So we'll go to the last item here, which is saying responsive heading typography. So this means if we turn it on, headings will be adjusting in size, in font size, whenever a screen size changes. For example, when you open it on a laptop or a desktop, the font size will be big, but when you open it on a small device such as a tablet or a phone, then the font size will also adjust accordingly to fit on the device. So we can leave it there, then save changes. The next thing we are going to do is to set colors for our website. So our theme skin by default is having white and dark colors, but we can choose our own color scheme here under predefined color scheme. So say we want it to be blue, for example. We want it to be blue. That one becomes our color. Let us save. Then refresh and see. Now, as you can see, the colors have changed from white to black here. I think the next changes will appear once we continue making edits to our theme. So we turn it back to white, then save changes, refresh and see. Yeah, it's back to white. So now our primary color here is blue. So this is the main color throughout the theme. So that's all about colors. The next thing is for us to go to the header. So header position, it can be top, left, or right. So the choice of your position is dependent on your needs or your preferences, and also the needs of the person for whom you are developing the website for. So by default, any header is expected to be at the top, but that doesn't mean that you cannot choose these other options. The next thing is for us to choose a layout. By default, this is the layout that is appearing, but we can still choose another layout from the options that we have. So say we are interested in this. So just select that. Then slider position. Now, if you have a slider, for example, you can have an image slider or a banner slider. You have to choose whether that slider will appear above the header or below the header. By default, any slider should appear before the header, but still that doesn't mean that you cannot put it above. It depends on your needs still and the needs of your organization. Then header content 1. Now, as you can see, we have chosen a header. That has 2 sections, around 3. We have the top menu, we have the banner or the logo, then we have the bottom menu. So we need to indicate which items will appear in our header. So say under header content 1, we want contact information. Header content 2, we need maybe navigation. Those are the links for the menus. Then we can put a phone number under phone number for contact info, the same phone number we used. Then email, we used test web gmail.com. Then we save. Let's see if there are any changes. Yeah, as you can see, we now have changes. The next thing, or the next item, is header background image. Header background image. So if you want to use any background image in our header, we can upload one. So let's just use an example of this one. We can add it, then save changes and see how it will appear in our website. So that's how it will appear in our website. If we like it that way, we can keep it, but for my case, I'm not going to use it. The next thing is header styling. Padding, as I said, is the space around an element. So the first one is top, second is right, third is bottom, and last is left. So you can set values here depending on how you want your header to appear. As I said earlier, the larger the padding, the larger the space around an element, in this case the header. The smaller the padding, the smaller the space around the element, or the header in this case. If you want to have a shadow around your header, you can turn it on. You can also select a header background color if you want to use any. So say you want to use blue as your background color, you can still use that, or you can resort to use the default. So most of these options have explanations, so if you read through, you can see what they mean and use them accordingly. You can set a border color, you can set a header top background color, and so on. This all depends on your preferences, or the preferences of the organization for whom you are designing the website. Next is sticky header. Sticky means it does not move, it is fixed. So as you see, it is already on. If we turn it off, then it means when we scroll our website, our header can go and disappear depending on how much content we have on a page. So if you have a lot of content such that it is bigger than the size of the display window, then whenever we scroll, that means our header will disappear. But if we choose sticky, it means if we try to scroll, it's only the content that will scroll, but the header will remain static. So still, these options have explanations. You can read through and choose them accordingly. The next thing is menu. So let us see our main menu. So menu height, once we have our main menu, we can now set the height and so on. So some of these options or these settings, we may enhance them, or we may use them once we create our pages, because we are going to create the menu from our pages. So after creating the menu from our pages, we can now apply some of these settings. Flyout menu. In this case, there is none. Secondary top menu, the menu that we selected at the top of our header, we can still set its appearance and font. So still that one can be better done after we create the pages. So I want us to create 1 or 2 pages here that we will use to create our menu. Then after creating our menu, we can now proceed with the theme options or the theme settings. So how do we create a page? We'll go to pages, then all pages. As you can see, we already have 2 pages here by default, but you can still add, or you can even delete these pages and create your own pages if you don't need them. So for us to add a page, we'll go to add new. So say we want to create a home page. So you can go through these tips and see how you can be in a position to create or to use these particular widgets. So as I told you, we are using what we call Fusion Builder to create a layout and appearances for our pages. So the first thing we are going to do is to create columns. Say this is our home page. This is the first page that will show up, or sometimes it's called the landing page. So if this is our home page, then most home pages are divided into a number of columns. So say we want to have a top section where we have our image carousel, or we have an image slider. So this is how we will divide it. So we have our first page here. We want it to be the home page. So we are just going to give it a title of home page. So we want to split this home page into first two main rows. Then the upper row can be used for a video or image slider. So we already have one column here, one row I mean. So we can still add more columns. We give it 100% width. So we can add a video here, say video. We upload a short video. So say we want that video, just an example. So this one will appear at the top of the page after the header. Then for the next, first let us give it a title or a caption. Just call it my video in this case. Then the next column will be divided into two. Say we want some more content on the left and less content, or the left pen will have a bigger size than the right pen. So we can do 70, 30, this one. So that is how our site will be divided. So we can add some text here. We can add a paragraph here. I want to generate some text here. I want to generate some text that we will add in this section for us to make our work easier. So I want us to generate this text. And use it. So this paragraph is going to contain that text like that. Then on this side, we can decide to have, say, Twitter feeds. We can embed a URL there if you have one. Say that depends on your Twitter handle, www.twitter.com, then my handle, come there. We can still add more items. So you can insert another element. This one depends on what you want to achieve in your website. So it's not a must that you actually use what I'm using or put what I'm putting here. You can also put latest posts to your side. You can still add other items depending on what you have or what you want to achieve. You can add a calendar like that. So you can publish this. Then see how it appears. It will not show fast because we haven't added it to our pages or the first page. So if we want it to show, we go back to WordPress, then go to appearance, then theme editor, not theme editor but customize. Then we go to homepage settings. Now instead of displaying the latest posts, we want it to display a static page, and it is the home page. Don't want any page for the texts. So we can publish. Then refresh. As you can see, we now have our page. This is the first page. We have our video here. We have our video. We have our calendar. Latest posts is here. Remember, we didn't connect to a Twitter handle, like a valid Twitter handle. That's why we are not seeing our Twitter feeds here. But if we did, we could be seeing some Twitter feeds here. And also it depends on whether we are online or not. So we can go back to customize our application or our web application. So close this. So you go back to pages, all pages, and create a new page. Call it About Us, or let us call it History of the Organization. History of the organization. Then we can still add elements. The first thing we will do is for us to add columns. So the number of columns depends on what you want to achieve still. So in this case, we can just choose one complete column, and within it still add a paragraph like the one we added there in the home page. We can do some edits to this. Some of these settings will be done in the theme options and our theme name. So you can just leave it as it is, publish it, then add another page. Has it added? Yeah. So add another page, say location. We can still add an element. For location, you may be required to add a map. Let's see which options are available here. Under media, we don't have any widgets. So you can use a Google Map link, or you can still put some content here depending on what you want still to achieve. It can be some kind of a descriptive address, or you can just use a Google link. So publish that. We can still add another page. Let us refresh and see if our pages have been added. Yes, history is there, location is there. We can still add more pages. Say now this one is say media link. You can put some content there. Still, I've shown you how to use the elements, so you just use whichever element is relevant to your website or to the needs of your organization, then you place it accordingly. So I think with these pages we are good to go. Now we are going to create menus, and remember, as I told you, we can only create menus from pages. So we are going to go back to WordPress, then we go to appearance. Now we are going to menus. We want to add menus. So we can call this menu menu. So we are going to add menus to the main navigation. We can still add them to the top navigation. We can add them to mobile navigation and so on. But in this case, we are going to add them to main navigation. So we create a new menu. So as you can see, we are going to add location, media, and history of the organization. Then select add to menu. So they are already here. They are already added here. But this is not how we want them to appear. Or we can see how they appear first before we continue with our edit. We can see how they appear before we continue with our edit. Is it saving? Yes, it's saving. Okay, now let us refresh and see how they will appear in our main page. That is how they will appear. Media, location, history of the organization. Then we have a search function here. You can view all. Okay. Now this is what we are going to do. So to add the home page, we are just going to drag, or we are going to select, then add to menu. So it is there, home page, added to the menu. Then we are going to add another custom link. URL will be hash. When you put hash, it means it will load in the same page, or it will not go to any URL. So it remains in the same page. Then link text is about us, add to menu. So we can drag it here. So we want this to be the main menu, then location and history to be sub-menu. So if you want it to be a sub-menu, just drag it slightly to the right, like that. Then drag this one as well to the right. So as you can see, now this is a sub-menu. This is a sub-menu, while home page, about us, and media will be main menus. So we can just save. You can just save and see what will appear. Let us refresh our website. So this is the home page. As you can see, it is loading. When you go to about us, we have history of the organization. It is showing. Go to media, still showing. So the next thing we are going to do is to add icons. To add icons to our menus. For example, our home page is supposed to have a symbol of or an icon of a home or a house. So you go to Avatar menu options, then just type home. We get it here, then save. If we want, we can still add icons to the other menu items, but in this case, we are only going to add to home. So there we are. Let us see. Now that is how it will appear. We can now go back to our theme, then go to theme options. We want to make some changes to our theme now that we have created the pages and the menus. So we can go back to colors and see primary color is still blue. If you are satisfied, we can leave it the way it is. Header, if you are satisfied, we can still leave it the way it is. Then header background image, we can remove this if you are not happy. with the way it is. Let us see, after removing the header background image, what happens. So that is how it will appear. The next thing, menu. We want to make some changes to our menu. Now, the style is either bar, that's main menu style is either bar, highlight style is either bar, arrow, or background. That one you can select any depending on actually what you want to achieve. What I want us to do is to check the fonts. As you can see, the fonts are very small, so we want to adjust the size of our fonts. So you go to main menu, typography. We want to select a different font family. Font weight, we want it to be bold. Size, we can give it a number, say 40. 40 is very big. Give it 10, 15, or let us give it 20. Data spacing can be 2. Then the font color. The font color can be white. So hover color can still be changed depending on your needs. Drop down font color can be white. Drop down font size can remain 13. Navigation font size can remain 14. Main menu background color, we can change this to our theme color, which is blue. Main menu drop down separator color can be white. Then main menu drop down background over color can be blue. Main menu drop down background color can still be blue. Let us see how this one will appear. Let us see how it will appear. Yeah, so that's how it will appear. That is how our website will appear, or our main menu will appear. So as you can see, this is how our home page is now, or our website is now appearing in terms of the menu. We can still make some more changes depending on whether we are satisfied with the appearance or not. Okay, so for this case, we can leave it there. For this case, we can leave it there. Then the next thing we are going to do is to add a logo. We are going to add a logo. So I want us to remove this Avada logo. Then upload another logo. Let us say we are interested in this. This is the one that we are using as a background. So we want to use it as a logo now. Save. Then refresh. We can add the same logo as a default logo. us refresh and see. So if you are not satisfied with the way it's appearing, you can remove it. This is appearing the way it is because the size is big, but you can create a smaller logo that will fit perfectly within this particular area. So the next thing we are going to do is to remove this section, home page. So let us go to page title bar and see if there's anything. No. So we'll go to breadcrumbs. That is a breadcrumb. Then we select none and save changes. Then refresh. Still not disappearing. Let us see. Page title bar. We need also to put this one off. So as you can see, before refreshing, we have a title bar here. But after refreshing, this one is supposed to disappear. Now I don't have any title bar, but still this section is appearing and we need to remove it. So we can see more options. So it is here, the background image is here. We need to remove this, then save changes. If we don't like that title bar, we can save changes. If we like it and we want to customize, we can upload our own background image here for the title bar. So let us refresh. Still not disappearing. We need to do some more settings. There is a height here. Let us give it 0 and see if it will still appear. So as you can see, it has now disappeared. And we now have our simple website. Except for this section here, which I want us to remove also, so that we can customize it according to our needs. So let us go to the footer, then choose footer content. Footer content. So as you can see, this is the content that is showing here. It is the same content. We want to customize it. So you put here your organizational name, all rights reserved. Then we can remove this powered by section so that it just remains like that. Then refresh. So as you can see, it has now updated and we have our simple website. So you can still follow the same procedure to create as many website pages as possible. Whenever you want to use a feature that is not available in your theme, you can always go to plugins just come here and write the name of the plugin. Say you want a slider for images. You allow it to load. So like in this case, we have Smart Slider. So you can just install it once you get it, or any other slider that we need, you can just add or install. Okay, so that's how you add plugins to your website. In the next video, I will show you how to use plugins in your website. So don't worry about plugins today. Just stay tuned to this channel, and you'll get more information or more videos on how you are going to use plugins in your website. So if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. Thank you.